Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tesla stock is back. Okay, you're up 4% at the time of recording this video, a little bit more than that, and we're going to be going over all of your breaking news, Tesla stock specific news. A lot of this news has to do with the vote tomorrow. It's the biggest event in Tesla's history. Okay, there's more companies saying they are going to vote in favor of Elon's compensation package, which is, critical to Tesla. Now, you also have the broader markets that are doing a lot better today, and we will talk about why that is in today's episode as well. Why are stocks starting to do better? It actually has to do with economic data showing the labor market is not as weak as some people may have thought. This has put a lot of pressure on small cap stocks recently, and yesterday put a lot of pressure on even Mag 7 stocks because everyone was like, oh my gosh, we have the longest government shutdown in history that started when the economy was already weak. Okay, that wasn't flying with Wall Street anymore. But the data today shows that the economy is still on solid-ish footing. We also have a big tariff ruling that might get shot down by the courts. And, last I checked, that could be positive as well. So hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of work to get into in today's episode. Hit that, do all the things. Check that link out down below in the description of today's episode as well if you want to come join the trading community and come invest with us. But with that said, let's get started. Let's start off this video with your Tesla stock breaking news. Elon Musk says high volume production of Tesla's next generation AI5 chip will start in 2027 with a small number of units in 2026. Elon says AI6 will use the same fabs but achieve roughly 2x performance, aiming for a fast follow to AI5. So hopefully by mid-2028 for volume production of AI6 and AI7, we'll need different fabs as it is more adventurous. Sawyer Merritt says that he just confirmed with Charles Schwab that they will be voting for Elon Musk's 2025 CEO Performance Award Plan. Schwab voted no in both the 2018 and 2024 pay package votes. Schwab says, quote, Schwab Asset Management intends to vote in favor of the 2025 CEO Performance Award proposal. We firmly believe that supporting this proposal aligns with management and shareholder interest, which there was a lot of pressure from the Tesla community that basically was saying, hey, we're going to move our Tesla stock out of Charles Schwab or all of our holdings if they do not approve and vote for Elon's compensation package. Schwab put out a public statement that says, quote, we appreciate your patience and understanding as we await the conclusion of the voting process for the Tesla shareholder meeting being held later this week. Schwab Asset Management's approach to voting on proxy matters is thorough and deliberate. We utilize a structured process that focuses on protecting and promoting shareholder value. We apply our own internal guidelines and do not rely solely on recommendations from Glass Lewis or ISS. In accordance with this process, Schwab Asset Management intends to vote in favor of the 2025 CEO Performance Award proposal. We firmly believe that supporting this proposal aligns both management and shareholder interest, ensuring the best outcome for all parties involved. At least Schwab, has a couple brain cells that work. If you're voting no for this package, you're a hater. You don't even care if you make money yourself, right? Because if you say no to this package, you're basically prepared to lose 50 to 80% of your investment in Tesla. That, I think, is the definition of crazy, if we're being honest. But again, it looks like this is going to be approved with flying colors. The percentage on this might be the strongest yes vote for a compensation package for Elon Musk in the history of Tesla. And that is partially why Tesla stock is up so much today. Now, Tesla is sending out tickets for the shareholder meeting that takes place tomorrow. It is going to be between 11 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. So it is a long event tomorrow, and we're going to be hearing the voting outcome at some point towards the end-ish. So we'll see. Trump has just officially announced that he has again selected Isaacman as the next NASA administrator. This is a topic that Elon has been very passionate about, that Isaacman should be the guy running NASA. And the fact that Donald Trump put him back in charge of NASA means that maybe Elon and Trump can start to get back on, much better terms. Sawyer Merritt says if State Street, which controls over $50 billion worth of Tesla, votes against the Tesla board's recommendation this week, it could lose billions as Tesla shareholders sell their ETFs. It makes no sense to go against what is clearly in the best interest of Tesla shareholders. State Street voted no on Elon's pay package in 2024. I hope they vote yes this time. Otherwise, we might have to pull a Schwab 2.0. Tesla is looking to hire a senior insurance claims specialist for the robotaxi. They say, quote, this will play a critical role in managing incident reporting and claim processes for Tesla's robotaxi and ride-hailing operations. Tesla has revealed that starting in 2026, the company will introduce new extended coverage options for high-voltage batteries, extending protection beyond the standard 8-year warranty. Major automakers, including Tesla, Toyota, and Ford, have urged the Trump administration to extend a North American free trade deal they call crucial to American auto production. Wedbush's Dan Ives says, quote, getting Musk's pay package approved tomorrow at the highly anticipated meeting will be a big step towards advancing Tesla's future goals with the autonomous and robotaxi roadmap ahead. We expect shareholders to show overwhelming support tomorrow for Musk and the XAI stake, further turning Tesla into an AI juggernaut with the autonomous and robotics future on the horizon. In the news, many Model Y performance order holders in the U.S. are being asked to complete their tasks to avoid delay in delivery and have been given new estimated delivery dates. Some are showing delivery potentially as early as late November. In option activity today in Tesla, from institutions and hedge funds, you have 93 different trades totaling $71.49 million with a positive order value of 78%. Now, calls expiring on Friday, November 7th, is 65.05% of the volume today. Puts at 35%. So there is a large ratio difference between calls outweighing puts for this Friday. That is a very bullish sign. And you can also see 245,000 shares that are being covered on today. And don't be surprised tomorrow when you see short sellers covering on a ton of short positions. Because, after this compensation package is approved, you really don't want to be short in Tesla anymore. It's a bad idea to be short in Tesla anyways. But after the package is approved, the upside is going to become even more dramatic. Now, you've already seen about 10 million shares cover on short positions, but following the vote tomorrow, as long as it goes how we expect it will, you could see 5, 10, 20 million shares that want to be covered out of 72.5 million, and that could cause some pretty significant upside. Now, you can see today in broader markets, the Russell 2000 is the outperforming index, which has not been a common occurrence in recent times. In recent times, risk on stocks and areas of this market have been coming under a lot of pressure. Well, there's a couple of things that happened today. First and foremost, the jobs report came in better than expected. But first, Russell 2000 is up 1.5% today. NASDAQ is up 1.13%. S&P 500 up 0.76%. And the Dow is up 0.54%. The VIX is also down about 8% today. Bond yields are up 7 basis points. So that's a very strong... that's a big move in bonds. Okay, which Wall Street has been nervous about economic growth and activity and whether or not we're going into recession. So it's fascinating to see 10-year Treasury yields actually, going up a lot. The small caps going up alongside it. Gold is doing well today. Also, cryptos doing quite well. ADP employment changed today. This is the private payroll number. Came in at 42,000. Okay, 42,000 job ads. Last month, we were at negative 32,000 job ads. That was revised up a little bit to negative 29,000. So not as bad. Still pretty bad last month, but not as bad as we thought. And the consensus for jobs for October was about 22,000. So you came in 20,000 higher than expected, showing the economy is not already in a recession. Okay, so that was big today, and that's what is sending risk assets like small caps higher. Now the S&P Global Composite PMI came in at 54.6, missing estimates of 54.8, so a little bit weaker there. S&P Global Services PMIs came in at 54.8, missing estimates of 55.2, so a little bit weaker there, but not terrible. Okay. ISM Services PMIs came in at 52.4, beating estimates of 50.8. Business activity came in at 54.3, beating estimates of 50.2. Employment came in at 48.2, beating estimates of 47.6. New orders came in at 56.2, beating estimates of 51.0. And ISM Services prices came in at 70, beating the estimates of around 69. So stronger than expected economic data across the board today, which is something we really wanted to see. People have been concerned that, again, this government shutdown, it started at a time in which people were already nervous about the economy, and now you have issues with the airports. Now you have 42 million Americans that are not set up to not get food assistance. You have people missing paychecks, like a shit show sandwich. Okay, so to get good economic data, a good jobs report is really what you needed in this market. But beyond that, people really want to see the government reopen, okay? That is what we need at this point. We need the government to reopen, okay? That is the positive catalyst at this point, okay? That is what is going to cause stocks to go up dramatically from here. It's about the government reopening. When that happens, I do expect some pretty significant upside. But first, we're going to have a catalyst. And that is the ruling from the Supreme Court on Trump's tariffs. Now, this headline says Supreme Court justices appear skeptical that Trump tariffs are legal. They say the Supreme Court justices seemed deeply skeptical about the legality of aggressive tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump against most of the world's nations. Conservative and liberal justices sharply questioned Solicitor General D. John Sawyer on the Trump administration's legal justification of the tariffs, which critics say infringes on the power of Congress to tax. Lower federal courts have ruled that Trump lacked the legal authority he cited under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose the so-called reciprocal tariffs on imports from many U.S. trading partners and fentanyl tariffs on products from Canada, China, and Mexico. So here's the deal. Under the act that Trump has been using, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, you can only tariff things that are of like a national security importance to the country, like semiconductors, that could definitely be tariffed. Medications could definitely be tariffed. But you're going to tariff washing machines, you're going to tariff clothes and furniture and cars. A lot of that stuff, it's really hard to justify tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. And so I think you're going to have a situation where some areas the courts are going to allow tariffs In some areas, the court is not going to allow tariffs. Now, Trump obviously says he has a lot of different things that he can do to keep the tariffs enforced. And overall, I think it creates a little bit of uncertainty. And I would imagine if the courts, say these tariffs are illegal and they can't be enforced, I would imagine stocks would like that. But honestly, you just never know in this market. So I'm a little hesitant to say that would be good. Although my first impression would be no tariffs mean less inflation, less economic pain, higher company margins, okay, all of which is good for markets. But it's impossible to know exactly how markets would respond to that. But again, I would think that would be positive for stocks. Now, we do have some earnings today as well. In pre-market today, you had earnings from Novo Nordisk, Humana, McDonald's, Unity, Recursion, Brinks, and others. And then today and after hours, Robinhood, IONQ, AppLovin, AMC, Dutch Bros, Qualcomm, ARM, Snap, Figma, and Elf will be reporting. Senator Mitch McConnell says Republicans won't end the filibuster. So, I don't know. Maybe there's no progress on getting the government reopened. Like, any time now, they should just compromise. Donald Trump says he will focus on affordability next year, like making living more affordable, because honestly, it costs money to breathe in America. Donald Trump says that we have a total nincompoop at the Federal Reserve, was recommended by one of my real great people who I never spoke to again, thus calling Jerome Powell a nincompoop. Donald Trump says that South Africa should not be in the G20. And he says he will not be attending the G20 meeting in South Africa. Donald Trump predicts the return of $2 per barrel of gasoline, which, careful what you wish for, because if gas is $2, that probably means you're in some form of economic, shit show. So, yeah. Trump expects GDP growth in Q3 of 4.2% or more, which is wild because there's some estimates that GDP could be negative in Q3 because of the government being shut down. Trump says the stock market has set 40 record highs recently. So yeah, it's definitely a better day for markets today, but there's still a lot of uncertainty. There's still a lot of changes that are going to come. First and foremost, we want to get the government reopened. That's number one. That's going to be great because Wall Street is just nervous that a recession is coming, and it's no surprise, stocks rally today when we got a much better than expected private payroll number. We needed good news. We needed good economic activity. And we ultimately want to see the government reopen. And when that happens, that is going to be a very much positive catalyst for this market. We will start to get economic data again. We will start to have a better understanding of what the economy is doing. Again, that's the Wall Street perspective. I think we can get a really good understanding of the economy from earnings, but Wall Street loves their good old BLS data. So they want to see it. They want to see it. So let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And check that link out down below in the description of today's episode to come join the trading community. With that said, I will see you in the next one.